successful real estate agents Jim and Sarah Evers have 2 kids, Michael and Megan. Jim, a workaholic who doesn't have much time for his family, misses his wedding anniversary and makes up by suggesting a trip to a neighboring lake. After learning the location of Gracie Manor in the adjacent swamp, Jim, anxious to strike a deal, brings his family there. There, they meet Edward Gracie, the mansion's owner, as well as his butler Ramsley and other servants, Emma the maid and Ezra, the footman. Gracie asks the family to stay the night when a storm floods the neighboring river. Ramsley leads Jim to the library so they may talk to Gracie about the agreement, but Jim becomes stuck in a hidden passage. Gracie gives Sarah a tour of the estate while talking to her about his past and how his grandfather passed away following the suicide of Elizabeth Henshaw, his sweetheart. Following a spectral orb to the attic, Megan and Michael discover a painting of a woman who looks almost exactly like Sarah. When Emma and Ezra arrive, they recognize the woman as the deceased Elizabeth. Jim encounters Madame Leota, a ghostly gypsy who has a crystal ball for a head. He bumps into Emma, Ezra, and his kids, then goes back to Leota to ask her about how Elizabeth reminds her of Sarah. Sarah is thought to be Elizabeth's reincarnation. It is then revealed that the people living in the home are ghosts who were cursed a century ago by Gracie and Elizabeth's premature deaths and may only join the afterlife when the lovers are reunited. The Evers are then directed by Leota to the mansion's cemetery in search of a key that will unlock the mystery behind Elizabeth's demise. Jim and Megan discover the key in a mausoleum's basement crypt but unintentionally awaken its zombie occupants. However, Michael, having overcome his arachnophobia, assists them in escaping. Leota directs them to a trunk in the attic, which Jim opens to uncover a letter Elizabeth sent to Gracie, proving that she did not commit suicide as everyone thought and that she actually loved and wanted to marry him. Ramsley then reappears and confesses that he killed Elizabeth because he thought their relationship was improper and wanted to stop Gracie from leaving his heritage. Ramsley forces Jim out of the mansion and imprisons the kids in a trunk in order to conceal the truth. Gracie asks Sarah if she recognizes him as they meet up in the ballroom, and she is perplexed when he says she is his beloved Elizabeth. Gracie shows his ghostly nature as the room filled with dancing ghosts, but Sarah insists she is not Elizabeth. Gracie has second thoughts about this, but Ramsley maintains that Sarah is Elizabeth and that she will eventually remember. Ramsley uses blackmail to force Sarah into wedlock with Gracie in exchange for the security of her kids. Led by Leota, Jim is able to regain entry to the estate, save his kids, and halt Sarah and Gracie's nuptials. Ramsley's crime is revealed when he hands Gracie Elizabeth's letter. Ramsley becomes enraged at his master's apparent selfishness for loving Elizabeth and summons wraiths to attack the group as Gracie confronts him fiercely. However, as soon as the truth is out, a flaming being appears from the ballroom's fireplace and gets ready to bring Ramsley to hell for an eternity of torment. Ramsley tries to take Jim with him, but Gracie intervenes to save him. Ramsley poisons Sarah at the wedding ceremony, causing her to pass out, but the spectral orb then appears and takes possession of her. It turns out to be Elizabeth's spirit, who could only be freed from her present state after the truth was made public. Gracie and Elizabeth get together once Sarah is revived. After the curse is ultimately broken, Gracie transfers ownership of the home to the Evers and leaves with Elizabeth, Emma, Ezra, and the other residents of the mansion for heaven. Leota and 4 singing busts they found while looking for the mausoleum are tied to the back of the Evers automobile as they cross the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway for a proper holiday.